I made a bit of a mess.
Work it just a little bit. 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 Work it. Work it just a little bit. 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 Work it. Work it. Work it. Work it. Work it. Work it just a little bit. 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 Work it. Work it. Work it. Work it. Work it just a little bit.
happy accident. stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. Down, down. Down, down. Down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. Down, down. Down, down. Down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm just stuck here in a dream. I'm just stuck here in a dream. Oh, don't you be a good man? Oh, don't you be a good man? Down at the bottom of the ocean, down at the bottom of the sea. Down at the bottom of the ocean, down at the bottom of the sea. I'm gonna stay down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. Down, down. Down, down. Down, down. I'm just stuck here in a dream. Down.
Okay, so layout. So, in terms of the layout, because I thought it'd be a brilliant idea to have this wall fully glazed and this wall fully glazed with the doors, a little cheeky window here. That means the bulk of everything could potentially be in an L shape. What I do want to have, running almost the full length of the building, not coming out very deep, super bendy, excuse me, I'm freehand riffing here. Some high level timber storage. The reason I went as long as I've gone with it is so that I can fit in full lengths of timber, but I don't want them in the way. I want them high up out of the way. I'm not planning to keep a massive stock of timber, but when I do get a job, it is a shame to leave it outside on the drive, getting wet and getting ruined before I even get to it. So high level timber storage. So that's going to take up at least one wall. I'm thinking most of the electricity is going to be, in fact all of the electricity can be this side, because it's quite high level. That means I can build some spotlights into the bottom of it. The workbench area will be beneath it, so the workbench ought to be pretty well lit. That will enable me to have some tool storage on the wall behind it. Just like I've got hanging tool storage now. If you can find a wall somewhere where it's not going to look terrible, it's much more practical than having to look in a drawer, open a cupboard, lose everything. And it does encourage you to put it back when you finish. If you draw around it, you can always see it's missing. It infuriates you until you put it back. So hanging tool storage on the wall, workbench on there, timber storage above it, with recessed downlighters, shining the light where I actually need it. And it should look it should look nice. I don't need to illuminate the ceiling particularly. It'd be nice to give a cosy look in here, but have practical lighting where I need it. If I do need to light the rest of the space, I'll get a floor lamp, or make a floor lamp. It's a workshop. I build things. Yeah. Okay. But what would be nice, to have all them windows at some point, when the garden's a bit prettier along the driveway, it would be nice to have a view. So I'm thinking some kind of Yeah, I can bring it round. Some kind of bar shelf. Somewhere additional to sit. Can have a few bar stools. Something that's stackable, keeps out the way. I don't want to fill the space with things. Otherwise it'll be like today, I've got no room to work. It is still quite a small area. But yeah, I think that we can have some stools. And a shelf. Ooh. The mitre saw. The mitre saw's a problem. I've spent absolutely ages thinking about this problem because as a tool it's quite deep, it's quite heavy, it's quite wide, it's quite in the way. And it's a pain to put it in a cupboard somewhere, lift it out, put it on, because it's a very useful tool. So what I did, I pondered on it for a very long while and come up with possibly the greatest idea anybody has ever had. I thought I can mount this on a unit, fold the saw onto an angle so that it's a bit more shallow, and then I can drop the full thing down. So, I mean, I was going to make millions out of that idea, and then I did what I should have done in the first place, went on YouTube, typed in folding mitre saw station. Loads of people have made them, and they're all brilliant. So, I mean, that was a bit upsetting, but happily it means people have worked out the kinks. So, in theory, I should be able to make one as good. I don't want to say better because, I mean, there's some good woodworkers making it, but hopefully I can make mine equally as practical so that the mitre saw, when it's not in use, folds away. I'll make it on wheels and then I can just get rid of it. The ultimate goal is for none of the tools to be seen. I want to get some plants in here, make it look nice. People will look in, they'll think it's a summer house. And hopefully, it's not just for show, hopefully it will be both a functioning summer house and a functioning workshop. A small workshop. I don't have any giant tools. The mitre saw is about the biggest. So yeah, that's the layout. Vertically. Oh, sorry, the mitre station will live over here, underneath the shelf. So what I'm thinking is, let's see, we've got the high level shelf, the wood storage, the recessed spotlight. I'm thinking lower down is another fixed shelf, or more of a tabletop really. It's deeper than a shelf. I can have some nice badly drawn pot plants on there, that kind of thing. And the mitre station on wheels, folding, can tuck in nicely beneath it. Possibly with some more shelving built in, kind of shallow shelving, somewhere for more badly drawn plants to live, really. The trick is, because a few people have asked about security, aside from locking the door and being very lucky, there's not really a lot of security. So I figure the key to it long term is give people no reason to break in. So if I'm able to completely disguise the mitre station when it's not in use, tuck it out of the way, then I see that as a win. Of course, there's no point in concealing the mitre station if I've got a workbench next to it and tool storage, because you're going to think, oh, tools, let's go in there, let's see what we can have. In theory, if my luck runs out, I mean, I'm still very much hoping my run of good fortune continues. But tool storage, it's going to be ugly, it's going to be in the way, and it's going to be inviting to people who fancy some tools. So I've given this quite a bit of thought. I'm not sure I can fit it on the same sheet of paper. I'm going to have to buy more paper. So, also need to stop saying so. You know when you watch yourself back, or if somebody's kind enough to tell you and you realise there's one word you say far too often. With me it appears to be so. All I ever say is so, and since I've noticed it I can't stop saying so. So, it's a nightmare. So we've got the back wall. We've got our high level wood storage. Oops. Our built-in downlighters. However many it is. However many it is however many it takes. Good thing is I can experiment. So we've got our fixed, so again. So we've got our fixed shelf unit concealing the mitre station beneath on wheels. And with our pot plants and such. And pot plants on it. If anybody can name what plant I'm attempting to draw here, I mean, feel free. I'll go out and buy it. Unless it's something ridiculous. So this is mitre station. And up here is timber store. Now in the middle, yeah, now works instead of so. That's good. It would be nice for a summer house, I feel, to have some seating. So, again, so what I'm looking at is 2 fixed units, which will look angles. Imagine that's a well-drawn 3D box. I appreciate it isn't. What these badly drawn 3D boxes will contain is pull-out storage, again on wheels. How do I draw any of this? Something like that. It pulls out. I'll put some. Oh, it's got so bad. Storage will pull out. I'll add some shelves. I'll keep all of my screws, nuts, bolts. Disposable items, you know, sundry items, all of that in these fixed shelves. And across that, I will put another shelf, quite a sturdy one. That will have some, I was considering pull-out drawers, but in all honesty, drawers you have to worry about how much weight you put in them, how much you sag. So at this point it makes sense to just have boxes on wheels. Everything's on wheels, wheels everywhere, far as the eye can see. So I'll have some pull-out tool storage. These should be deep enough to keep all of the power tools, all of the bigger tools, and just any junk for occasional use. All concealed underneath here. I should probably mention at this point some kind of framework up here. And the idea is for a fold down workbench. So if we look from the side elevation, the workbench will hinge and it will fold down. It will be supported on these fixed units here. But what can also be done, I think none of this is to scale. I really need to check the measurements at some point. But if I have a pull-out unit on wheels and I make it the front of the pull-out unit the same height as the back of it, hopefully some of this is making some kind of sense, so that pulls out. Then I'll be able to have a secondary hinge on the workbench, so it'll flip down, and then it'll be able to flip out for when I've got really big materials to work with. It'll flip out and this support will move forward and just support it at the end. And I figure that's the best way I can come up with, because the big workbench is quite handy until it's not, until it's in your way. Everything's useful until you don't need it. So the idea is that flips back up, this goes back in, the rest of it flips up, latches in place somehow, and by putting it within quite a deep surround, I don't know, whatever it takes, 6 inches, getting onto a foot, but by putting it in quite a deep framework, I'll be able to have all my hanging tool storage concealed behind it. I have no idea how I'm gonna I have some very badly drawn tools on the wall behind it. That's a screwdriver. Yes. Lots of hanging tools, far as the eye can see. Flip up workbench will conceal it all. So, oh God, stop saying so. Ergo, when this is all concealed, I can just have a nice picture of something possibly drawn by me. I used to be able to draw, or possibly not, but we'll have a nice, I was going to draw a sailboat, but then I drew a chimney, so we'll have a nice framed fixed picture to conceal the workbench. And that will leave us, when it's up, tool storage here, 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 all hidden. Mitre storage here. Hanging tool storage up here, all hidden. A nice shelf with some nice downlighters. Timber on top, which, because I'm not illuminating it or drawn any attention to it, not that anybody's going to steal some planks of wood, but shouldn't need to put front on it, it won't be very noticeable, it won't ruin the look of the area. Now what I intend to do here is add some foam cushions and a folding back. And what I end up with, hopefully, is a badly drawn sofa. Now obviously the sofa is going to be in the way, so the back of the sofa will have to fold down. This is where things get really tricky to draw. I'll just go down here if I may. I don't know if I'm still in shot, but so we've got the side supports, and we've got tool storage beneath it, and sofa cushions on top. I'll bring the bottom of the seating area forward from the wall slightly to allow me to have an angle on the cushions, because nobody likes sitting bolt upright on a sofa. I should have brought it further forward because there's an extra hinged flap on the end. Now what should be possible is for this thing to fold entirely flat, and this little flap here, which will be on a hinge, will close down to conceal everything, and there'll be a solid back on it. So effectively the sofa is folded into a box to protect it from sawdust when the workbench is folded down on top of it. Because I don't want to spend my life vacuuming the sofa every time I've done a little job in here. So, as I stand back and look at it, I realise it's not the best plan, but this is about as good as any of my plans get. Now the devil is in the details. I've seen quite a lot of videos of folding furniture in camper vans, tiny houses, stuff like that. And it always looks, well, not always, there's some really good folding furniture out there. But what you see more often than not is you have to take the cushions off, you have to faff about. I figure at the back where it hinges, I don't know how I'm going to draw any of this. Obviously, if your hinge is here, then your sofa cushions are too thick to fold down flat. So I figure if I put some drawer slides in here so that the cushion moves up as it folds, then I should get that result. So kind of drawer slides in here, which will allow the hinge to move up. Does this make any sense at all? Who knows, but I can understand it. You'll get to watch me build it, and at the end of it, I've got a big gap here going into the angled wall. So again, in the interest of symmetry, I think it would be best to have some kind of shelving unit on this side as well, just in the interest of symmetry. And since it'll be near some big windows and it won't have to move very often, let's have a gigantic leafy mystery plant. You just can't have enough leafy mystery plants in your life. Plants are great. I like them a lot more since I stopped killing them. I do have to credit the missus with that. It can't be any coincidence that until I moved in with her, every single pot plant I ever had died. Now they all live. I mean, it might be a coincidence, it might be personal growth. All I'm saying is it might not be to do with me at all. About once every 6 months I water the plants, and I think that's enough to keep them alive. I suspect she might water them when I'm not around and not mention it to me because it's not a big thing. Yeah, so this is where we are. This is what I'm planning. I think this page makes a bit more sense. So that last plant shelf will be somewhat triangular to mirror the shape of the outer walls, just to make it look nice. It's a nice seating, a nice shelf, it should be quite a nice place to be. But first, step one. Step one. It's going to be a nightmare. But I'll film it. Hopefully you'll watch it and it won't look anywhere near as bad when it's sped up to 20 times normal speed. Let's see how we go. Now, if you were able to follow any of the plans I attempted to draw out and explain, well, you're probably a lot cleverer than me. But you may wonder where some of the inspiration came from for this crazy scheme. I'll come clean, I take inspiration wherever I can find it. So stand by, here it goes. A fold down workbench. And pull out storage on wheels. Easy.